So there's been like this whole viral thing where people are talking about their favorite MCs, best MCs, greatest MCs, and all that. And we
Right.
did a list. I want to go through yours. I want to go through mine. We posted it on the community section. I know some people were saying your list was better than mine, but
I didn't go.
I'm
You know,
out the box. Yeah.
I didn't see. When I put mine in the chat, I literally didn't see anything else after that because it'll move off your homepage after a while. So
Yeah.
like literally when I posted mine, that was all like I really saw about it. You know.
Well, let's get your list up here, man, for the people who didn't see it. This is what Coop said. Coop said greatest rapper of all time is Nas. Coop's favorite rapper of all time is Nas. Favorite current rapper, Conway the Machine. That's a good one. Favorite female rapper, Foxy Brown. Favorite rap group.
Hold
Go
on, can we
ahead.
stop for a second at the Foxy thing? Because I think that's what I've been hearing the most about. People like, Coop, I thought you loved Light. I thought you loved Lauren and as an MC. Or what about Rhapsody from Carolina? But Mike, when I thought about it and I had to think about that one, she's the one that excites me when I hear her rap because I don't know what she's gonna do. Like that's why she's my favorite. I don't know what to expect next from her. Like if Light's coming, I kind of know what to expect, and she probably is the one I'm most nostalgic about. Lauren is clearly the best. Rhapsody's from my hometown, but anytime Foxy steps into the mic, that's the one that I want to hear because she's the one that first took my breath away with that "I Shot Your" remix first.
Foxy has some very special appearances, and she gets on the grimy shit and sounds so great on the grimy shit.
She crushes the dudes on the grimy shit sometimes, Mike. Bang, bang, bang with CNN, remember? That was the
Mm-hmm.
response to the Quiet Storm.
Yo, she got at Kim on Bang Bang.
She got at her.
Yeah,
Mike,
for
that was
people
the
who
shit.
haven't heard Bang Bang by CNN, yeah,
Mike,
man, go check that
that
verse out.
Mike, how about this? The Quiet Storm remix wasn't about to get it popping in the streets. The Bang Bang song where Way Fox was talking, that's the stuff that had it in the streets.
Nah, I feel you. Okay, so Foxy. Then you got favorite rap group, Wu Tang. It's Wu Tang forever. Favorite trap rapper, Jeezy.
Yeah.
Favorite rapper under 30, Lil Baby. We want to explain the Lil Baby thing because they were giving you heat about that.
Yeah, I know they were giving me heat about it. I'm from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like I was raised in Charlotte and in Atlanta, so it's like I don't hear the other guys' stuff like the way that y'all do. And to be quite honest with you, and it's like I know a lot of people put like Joey Badass down, including you.
I did, yes.
Okay, when's Joey's last album come out?
It's been a minute. But,
Okay,
I guess I was taking that as rapper, right?
no, Mike. All I'm saying is like, and I'm gonna keep on saying this. Like, we have this thing in this business where we deify people who don't work a lot. I put the rapper on there who's under 30, who I hear the most work from. That's dope too.
Okay.
Like I love Joey. Is Joey a better MC than Lil Baby? Yeah. When Joey's last album come out again, Mike? How many verses we got from Joey in the last 3 years? How many verses have we got from Joey
Well,
Badass in the last 3
the
years?
recent Joey Badass record is pretty dope.
Mike, but that's not answering my question really. How many verses have we really gotten from Fam the last 3 years?
There
Because
hadn't
he's
been a
still in
lot.
his 20s. So it's like, so when you're picking him, it's like, well, I can't pick somebody like that, even though he's inherently better, that hasn't put in the work against somebody who's talented, who I hear everywhere, who's made hit singles, got Grammy nominations, who can actually rap himself, collabs with other artists very well, collabs with artists in the city, has a name for himself. Like Lil Baby checks a lot of boxes. So it's like, you can give me smoke, but
A
go
lot of
listen to him.
my personal favorites from I guess that generation or this current generation or previous generation turned 30 this year. So
Mm.
I think Quavo turned 30.
Like
Travis
in
turned
Savage, hold
30.
on, hold on. In Savage 30 now too?
Is Savage 30? I don't think he's 30. I personally like Savage more than Lil Baby, but I don't like Savage as much as I used to.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Glock, Glock on my lap off Gunna's album is my shit though.
Shit. Oh yeah. I mean, but even when him and Metro get together, it's magic. Okay, so favorite
I think that's
storyteller
my
lyricist, you got Slick Rick. Most
yeah.
underrated, you got Cool G Rap. Most overrated, Eminem. Favorite producer, RZA. I was gonna say RZA, but I changed. Favorite
So
rap album of all time, Illmatic. Favorite rap
hold on.
song, The World Is Yours.
Yeah, go ahead.
What were you gonna say? Okay.
I thought about making a award tour, my favorite rap song,
Mm-hmm.
but "The World Is Yours" is probably like my. I thought about this too. like so many other people know me and know how much I love that record. Because if you knew me around a certain time in my life, there's no chance that you were around me and you didn't hear that record a lot. You know? And so that's why I chose that.
It's mine. Whose world is this? All right. Favorite live group? Outkast.
Yeah.
Over the Roots. I'm surprised at you.
You want to know why?
You're a big Roots fan.
No. You want to know why I picked them as my favorite live group? Because I can't pick them as my favorite group because that's not fair to Wu-Tang Clan and what Wu-Tang Clan has done and continue to do. And also, too, they give a great live show, and I know I'm going to get to see the Roots again. And I actually wanted to give the group that actually made me want to start rapping more than anybody else and shine. And I was thinking, too, and think about this, Mike. You know, I really put they were my favorite live group because the last time I seen them was live, and I think it's probably the last time that I'm going to see them.
Oh, Man says D Smoke, Rex Life, Taj, Moray, all over Lil Baby, Coop. You don't think we're gonna see another Outkast performance ever again?
No.
Why?
Say that again. Who are those rappers? Mike, how many Andre 3000 diatribes are you and I gonna have to do separate and collectively before we realize that shit probably ain't gonna happen?
Well, somebody, I think under that post about Kendrick's absence or whatever, they were saying that I continuously troll Kendrick, Andre, and Eminem. This is what I will say. This is what I'm going to say. Andre's never coming out with a solo rap album. Kendrick's done. I hate to say it like that, but it is what it is. We got to face realities. And Eminem hasn't made a dope album in over 20 years now. And so, it's just, those are just facts of the matter. And honestly, the best music that Eminem's made in his career doesn't match the best hip-hop records that were made ever. So, I mean, he didn't even match what Dre was doing or Snoop was doing at their height, quality-wise.
Mike, when was that At Last concert that they did here in Atlanta? I had
that was 2014.
Mike, it's
that was
already
8
been
years ago.
It's already been 8 years since that moment happened, Mike. We are even further removed from them even making an actual song that we can digest, that we know that we made together. Mike, this shit over.
It's over.
It's over.
And that's fine.
So I guess part of my favorite live group thing was the nostalgia of seeing them like for the last time because it was live, and I wasn't about to put them ahead of Wu-Tang.
But I feel like you were rewarding them for being absent.
It said favorite live group, not best live group.
Okay. That's fair.
If they would have said best, I would have put the Roots down. They said favorite.
Best rapper that can sing, Lauryn Hill.
Mike, that's not even a conversation. It shouldn't be. Like, I see all of y'all putting down CeeLo and Andre. Like,
I put
she's
CeeLo.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I just want to let everybody know.
Again, and it's about
better lyricist and singer than both.
We want to be real, man, and we want to talk about awarding people who actually put in work and who, have displayed their versatility over the years. I feel like, too, when we talk about being that nucleus in a group, she wasn't really doing a lot of that singing, rapping stuff on Blending on Reality in that way successfully. CeeLo showed people how you could do this thing on Soul Food. CeeLo showed you how you could be the cornerstone MC and handle all the hooks. I remember my homeboy was saying when he first heard the song Soul Food, he's like, he didn't even realize that person was in the group. He thought they went outside the group to get that hook.
No, I will say what CeeLo did on Soul Food. First of all, let's shout out Organized Noise for setting him up for success.
Of course.
So, with that being said,
one of their best production jobs, in my opinion.
Yes. So, CeeLo would probably be my second choice after Lauryn. But here's just what I tell you. She's a better MC and she's a better singer. I couldn't put her. If he would have been better than her at one of those things, I could probably give him the nod about the work. But at the fact that he's not better than her at either one of those things, actually, Mike, I just couldn't do it. He's not a better lyricist and he's not a better singer.
I think that she's a better. I think that she has a better voice. He might be a better singer on a technical level. That's debatable, whatever. But as far as on a rap level, I don't think they're that far apart, man.
Not that far apart,
And we
Mike.
talk about the output and some of CeeLo's highest highs. I
I
think
mean,
the
Mike.
CeeLo, honestly, if we keep it all the way a buck, he ain't far from Andre. And in many points, if we really want to examine the situation, he got some verses that Andre can't touch. Decisions from that Muggs album. Andre don't have a lot of verses that touches that. Lauren
Okay,
either.
so Mike. First of all, you went to decisions, which in my opinion is CeeLo's best verse. Okay, you went
It
to
would
his
probably be Andre's too if he had that.
Um, Mike, you want to know how I feel about CeeLo's verse on decisions? That is one of the 25 greatest verses of all time. Okay,
He has that in him.
so I'm not saying that he doesn't.
Who has
have
the best
that.
verse on Get Up, Get Out?
That's Mike.
It's
CeeLo.
CeeLo.
Oh, no, I give that to CeeLo. No, I'm not saying that. Like I said, if I was picking, I would put him over Andre in that category. But here's what I do remember. I remember Soul Food coming out in 1995, and I remember The Score coming out in 1996.
Yeah.
In 1996, and listen to what I'm about to say, I think Soul Food's a better album than The Score, actually. And I'm not saying that with bias. I think song for song, Soul Food's better than The Score. Song for song.
It is, actually.
Right. But Mike, don't get the mic performance fucked up. Lauryn Hill in 1996 was in competition and argument to be the best MC in this game. CeeLo's never been that.
I think
Lyrically,
CeeLo is a
like,
better MC on Still Standing, actually. I mean, if we want to be honest, but
I mean, if you want to say that, the guy that's on Still Standing or Soul Food's not fucking with that chick on The Score. He's not. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know
Like,
if it's as clear cut as you think it is, but I will say this.
like you're talking about his moments. I'm talking about like who she just is on the mic. Like she can get on the mic and I don't know out rap Nas.
Well, she's one of the best rappers ever. You know what I'm saying? And I think that really, if we want to talk about her mic performance as an MC on Miseducation, that's even more impressive than The Score, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, The Score is such a coming out party. Like Mike, that verse on How Many Mics, when she came like that, it was just like, oh, it's like,
Yeah.
Mike, that was the first time. That's the first time I heard a woman rap, and I was like, the best rapper in the game can be.
I think it's more fair to compare Soul Food to Blunted on Reality. Like we compare CeeLo Soul Food. No, I'm talking about mic performance because CeeLo's straight off the block on Soul Food. He's so much more refined on Still Standing, whereas Lauren's more refined on The Score.
Mike, I don't agree with that because Soul Assassins came out before Still Standing and after Soul Food. So like he was great. Goodie Bag, Mike. Goodie Bag on Soul Food. No, he's great on Goodie. He's just not Lauryn on the mic. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying that people lyrically are not Lauryn Hill on the mic.
No, all I'm saying is because look, we're looking at Lauren, Dre, and him, right? I think most people would say Dre, Lauren, CeeLo in that order, right?
Right,
but they're all in a similar stratosphere. It's not like CeeLo's so far off from them. My thing is, based on the work that he's put in this game in relation to those two, I have to put him over them.
No, if you're talking about the work,
we're talking about Lady Killer. We talking about the stuff he's done with Gnarls Barkley.
I get what you're saying, and Mike, listen to what I'm saying. If I thought that he was better than her at either one of those things, I would put him ahead about his work. I don't consider him to be better at either one. And so I'm not about to put somebody that I don't consider to be better at either one of those things. It's like if you're asking me to go get a verse from somebody, it's like you can get a verse from Lauren and you can go get a verse from CeeLo. Where are you going? Going to get a verse from Lauren. You can go get a hook from CeeLo. You can go get a hook from Lauren. Where are you going? Going to Lauren. And that's
you think Lauren's Nobody verse on King's Disease 2 is better than CeeLo's verse on Earth Gang's Power?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. Yes, I do.
Do you think it's far off? Do you think if somebody said CeeLo's verse is better, it's a ridiculous statement?
No, I don't think it's a ridiculous statement. I would tell you it's about a half step below what Lauren did on Nobody.
Okay.
As in, there's a difference between making a top 20 verse in a year and making a verse that should be or probably will be and can be verse of the year. Sans Nas coming out with Magic on Christmas Eve. She had the verse of the year literally for the entire year up until Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Yeah, like I've seen CeeLo, like Decisions is his best verse. I would still.
It's an incredible verse.
I would still, and Mike, this is what I'm saying. And she's so brilliant Like, she probably doesn't have anything bar for, very few MCs have a verse bar for bar that matches up with that verse. The relentless realism, regardless, represents skills I quest, manifest, and possess as heaven sent. Right? You talking about that one, right?
Meant to the fullest extent, no nonsense, because my conscience wouldn't be content with just a little wealth or a little fame, but your mind frame would keep you living the same. And it's a shame that niggas would settle for the ghetto. Hoes with some clothes and they making what you suppose. Got your eyes closed on what your contract shows. And fine print, they got to get back every cent you spent. You content, cuz you do what everybody does. The industry didn't change you from the person you was. Listen, man, Hip Hop Head 10 says Mike be at Andre 3000. Listen, man, at the end of the day, CeeLo is the most talented MC to ever come out of the city of Atlanta.
Well, listen to what I'm saying. So this goes back to that thing that I used to, and we've talked about this on prior shows a long time ago, about how one of my favorite bars from Jizza is his verse on High as Wu-Tang Get. Too many songs. Weak rhymes is mad long, make it brief, son. Half short, twice strong. So what he's spending a minute and a half doing on decisions, she does in about 45, 50 seconds on how many mics.
He's building up a story, though.
No, I get it.
It's that's different.
My mind makes incisions in your anatomy, and I back this with Deuteronomy or Leviticus. God made this word you can't get with this sweet like licorice, dangerous like syphilis.
Yeah. How many mics do we rep on a daily? Shout out to Gio with the super chat.
She's just as potent as he is, Mike, and it's shorter and brief and stylistically beyond him.
Gio says, gentlemen, with all due respect, you can't have a hip-hop list and not include Big Punisher. To brush over Pun is disrespectful. Nasir Jones admitted changing his verse on John Blaze. I mean, Pun's great. What do you think we should have put Pun? Like, in what section here? Best underground group, DITC.
Hold on, Mike. For hardest verse, we could have went Dream Shatterer. For hardest verse, could have went Dream Shatterer. So that's maybe where he could have fit in. Yeah.
Best underground group, you got DITC. That's a dope one. That's a dope pick.
I tried to think of something that nobody was really going to think about.
Best underground rapper, Most Def. What do we see? That kind of threw me off. Like, what do we consider to be an underground rapper per se?
Mike, hold that thought. That's why I have some Black Star comments, but we're going to leave that right there because Talib made a comment saying Most Def don't like the industry. You don't say. We're about to find out. No. That's the comment.
Uh-oh. Okay, best radio freestyle, Black Thought. Best DJ in a group, Primo. You know what? I went a different area. I went Jazzy Jeff.
That's cool. I like the Jazzy Jeff pick, actually. Answer's Preem.
Because he's a DJ. Now, Preem's a better producer.
So
I'm not saying Preem's not, but when we talk about, ripping up the turntables and scratching and mixing, Jazzy Jeff is the best in the business.
I'm about to say, is anybody better than Jeff at that?
I don't think so.
Right. So I get you, though.
No, but I feel where you were coming from. I was just thinking in a different way. I wasn't even thinking about Gang Starr like that. Best feature rapper, the Notorious B.I.G. That's a great answer, actually.
He is, Mike.
He is. He might be. Because we sit here, we were talking about his features. He could do a versus pretty much with his features, even with his short life.
Mike, this was
even the Supercat shit is a feature.
Mike, this was the easiest choice to make. We're like, that's Biggie Smalls. Next.
Yeah, because that total, that's a problem.
Like 112, R. Kelly, Shaq.
Yeah.
How you want it?
His weakest verse might have been with Michael Jackson. Shout out to the L Web with the super chat. Hold on, let me get to the super chat because the chat's moving so fast. Y'all are so engaging with this. He said, for me, I put Cuban Link as the most underrated. He's up there lyrically with Pun, in my opinion. That's interesting, man, because I remember back in the day, we had that Terror Squad album. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting here listening to Cuban Link and Armageddon. I'm like, man, these guys can rap.
They can rap.
They can really rap. The thing that separates the two, though, is they don't have the records that Pun had. Now, if we heard those freestyles where it would be like Pun and Cuban Link going back and forth or whatnot, Cuban Link can hang with Pun, bar for bar. But when it came to making songs or whatever, that was kind of the separator.
Yeah.
Okay. So, metaphysical lyricist. Wasn't sure what that meant exactly, but you put Rakim.
No, I know what that meant. That meant the science, the math.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I wasn't sure if they were
understanding.
coming from. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's definitely Rakim. He ushered
Yeah.
that in the game.
Yeah, follow the leader.
Yeah. Jay Short with the super chat. He said, "There's a time in the '90s where your album was automatically specific. I'm sorry, suspect if it didn't have a primo beat. Yeah, that's real. You weren't considered a lyricist if you didn't have a primo beat on your shit.
Yeah. Yeah, if you were coming out the East Coast and Primo didn't have a joint on there, it's like, why? You got a bad relationship?
Yeah, that was credibility. The Truest says, Twista, the best featured rapper, period. So, you know, I will say this about Twista and Bone. Whenever they did feature on something, they changed the color of everything.
Changing the color doesn't mean it's a classic, though. But I hear you.
I mean, I will say this about Biggie and his features, man. Like, I went for a change in the color pick. And we're going to get to my list real quick. But yeah, I went for a change in the color pick. But you're right. Biggie, he was able to jump on your shit and make it a classic.
Immediately.
Yeah. Best battle rap song, Ether. Best album artwork, ATLiens. Hardest verse. Huh?
I said that was probably the second easiest with the ATLiens album cover.
Yeah, that was pretty easy. I picked that too.
The whole comic book theme going through it.
Well, Doggy Style is up there too. I was thinking about going the Mad Villainy route, you know, the abstract route too. There's a lot of choices out there, but ATLiens stuck out in my mind. Hardest verse, Shook Ones Part 2, Prodigy's verse. Best mixtape, Trapper Die 2. Best hip hop beat, Microphone Fiend. That's interesting. Best lyrical song, I Gave You Power / Lyrics of Fury with a tie. Album that stayed in your CD player the longest, Southern Playalistic. That stayed in mine a long time too. Album that stayed in your car tape player the longest, Liquid Sword / Do or Die. Great
I bought
choice.
those the same day. Those were the first 2 tapes I ever bought, Mike. I bought them the same day. They stayed in the tape deck. I would listen to one and then take the other one out and listen to the other.
Liquid Swords was trending on Twitter yesterday for some reason. And we posted it on the Twitter and, you know, wanted to get people's favorite songs from it. You said your favorite song was
Killer Hill. 104.
Yeah.
Mike, that's one of the best hip-hop stories of all time that nobody ever talks about.
Mad Max says that Jada is by far the best featured rapper. I'm not mad at that.
That's a good choice, but it's not as classic as Biggie shit.
Jada sounds great on everything. I was surprised by your Killer Hill pick. And then you went Shadowboxing and Fourth Chamber. I was listening to Liquid Swords last night, man. Fourth Chamber and Shadowboxing are crazy.
It's next level. First of all, Fourth Chamber, Shadowboxing, and Killer Hills 10304 all in order. That's track 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and that's the moment where that album goes from extremely great to all-time classic is in those 3 records. And part of why I like Killer Hills 10304 and I put it by itself and I put it at number 1, well, he got all kinds of help on Shadowboxing. He has Method Man at his all-time very best on Shadowboxing. He has Ghost Coming Out at his all-time best on Fourth Chamber, one of RZA's best verses on Fourth Chamber as well. Yeah. Mike, Killer Hills 10304 is just RZA and Jizza. Restaurants on a steakhouse, so order the food to take out. Chaos outside the Spark Steakhouse. Maintain the power. I feel the deal's gone sour. Nigga missed the wedding. Late a fucking half hour. Like, he just sets the scene so beautifully. And after you hear Fourth Chamber and Shadowboxing, you realize how great he is. The fact that it's like those 2 records just played, and this guy can go tell a story by himself that is just the great or equivalent to those guys song-wise what they just did. And that's why it's the best song on Liquid Sword. It's a solo.
Well, you know, I'm a Shadowboxing proponent. And you know I'm a Ghostface guy. But I must admit, man, Killer Priest's verse on Fourth Chamber sticks out to me. That I judge wisely. It's just nothing never surprised me. Lounging between 2 pillars of ivory. I'm lively. Shit is crazy. Like the approach.
In Greece, my poems are deep.
Jeez, yo, that might be one of the most lyrical songs ever, man. And
Yeah, right. The way RZA ends it, he ends it with another acronym. Protons, electrons always cause explosions.
and then Jizza just comes in there on some smooth shit. Shout
Right.
out to Chelsea with the super chat, said no diss song is greater than Hit 'Em Up. I never was a huge Hit 'Em Up fan. I like Hit 'Em Up, and I remember when Pac was going off at the end, that was always a big thing. But the other thing that stood out to me yesterday when listening to Liquid Swords, I realized as much as I love the first verse on Shadowboxing, I actually like the last verse even more.
You've been saying that for a long time. I still don't agree with you at all.
I don't even know if I agree with myself. Both of them are like next level high verses, man.
How about this?
But when he
Like,
came in there, the mind started clicking. It's just the way he came in that shit, man. Like,
so
I
Mike,
don't
the
give a
same
cop
that you
picking
love.
fuck about a nigga trying to size a nigga up. I hold my own. Hard hat protect the dome. Look at mama baby boy acting like he grown. No time for sleep. I get steep as a baritone. Killer bee they be holding down his honeycomb. Lounging son, woo brother #1. Protect your neck, flying guillotines. Here they come. It's like he's like bouncing with this thing.
Bloody
Hard
black
times and killer tactics.
Speak my words, semi-automatic slurs. Peep the graphic. Novel
Power
from the
from the
bean bottle.
It's crazy.
Yeah, full throttle. Time to bungee. To the next episode. I keep bungee.
Hand on my nutsack, the spitting lunging. No matter what, that don't understand the fact when it comes to the tracks. I don't know how to act. Real rap from the stat. Killer Hill Projects, how to be exact. It's like, whoa. Whoa.
And that's where the All In Together now comes from. So two whole songs got spanned from his two verses. You Know My Steez by Gangstar and All In Together by Limp Bizkit. That's Shadowboxing.
It's insane. And
so I'm not
insane.
gonna argue with you. And I'm going to tell you why I prefer
Jizza verse is fire too. Somebody said that.
Jizza verse is fire too. No, it's one of the best rap songs ever.
Yeah.
It really is. It's really like those three songs to me are some of the best rap songs like ever. Period. Those three songs right there. But here's what I say, and I prefer the first verse, and here's why: the vernacular used is slightly better to me. Like delivery wise, flow wise. Oh no, it's all equal. But there's something about when he says, "I breaks it." Like nobody had ever talked like that before. I breaks it down to the bone gristle.
Yeah. It gets your attention right away.
Ill speaking, scud missile, heat sinking, Johnny blazing, night like Wes Craven. Niggas gunning, my third eye seen it coming before it happened. And then he paused. You know about the fucking.
It's one of the best features ever. It's one of the best features ever.
Form of fashion.
Now everybody talking about they blast.
They blasting. Mike, nobody ever done that.
Is you flashing?
Talking out your asshole. Better learn about the flow in Peasy Afro.
Dude, I don't know. Chinky eyes, snot nose. From my naps, put a bunion on my big toe. I keeps it moving.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shout out to Jay Short. He says Snoop Dogg on the feature becomes a centerpiece. Yeah, Snoop Dogg is another one.
And you want to know what it is, Mike? It's when he goes, "You know my steez." Like he's pausing all over that beat in a way that nobody really had ever done before that I'd heard. This is 1995.
Bouncing, was like, you know my steez.
You was on a track record. It's like I didn't know niggas could rap like that on a beat like that.
I never heard nothing like it. To be perfect,
I never heard nothing like it. Yeah, never heard nothing like it. Delivery, timing wise, the way he was pausing, stopping, picking the words up, funneling the words together. I was like, what? Method Man. The Method Man.
The Method Man. All right, well, here was my list real quick. Greatest rapper of all time, Nas. My favorite rapper of all time, Q-Tip.
I was surprised you didn't put that.
It was between that and Ghost. Huh?
Okay. I was surprised you went Ghost right there and then Q-Tip for producer. That's what I was expecting.
Nah, Q-Tip's my favorite all around because he can do it all. You know, from being the front man to being great producer to being, pretty much coming up with the graphic art for Tribe. Just the overall creator.
Yeah.
I'm partial to the creators. Favorite current rapper, Pusha T. Favorite female rapper, Rod Digger. Yeah. Rod Digger still to this day has my favorite female rap album.
I'll say you're a Dirty Harriet fan.
Dirty Harriet is great. I want to listen to it now. Favorite rap group, Wu-Tang. Favorite trap rapper, Project Pack. Does that count?
I think it does, Mike. And when you said that, when you put that down, I was like, that's a very nice play, a nice pull. Mr. Don't Play.
That shit is hard as fuck.
It don't get no more trap than Mr. Don't Play.
Nah, man, that shit is crazy. Everything's moving. Favorite rapper under 30, I went Joey Badass. But a lot of that's on potential, and you're right. Favorite storytelling lyricist, I went Ghostface. Most underrated, I think CL Smooth. And I think that CL Smooth is one of those guys that he's one of the few people who's made one of the greatest rap records ever and never is in these conversations.
You're right. That's fair.
Yeah.
No, you're right. He's the author of one of the greatest rap records ever, and he never gets mentioned. You're right.
Yeah. Most overrated, Eminem. That speaks for itself. Favorite producer. This has changed recently. I'm going Kanye, man, for all the reasons that we lined out before, where it's like not many people are able to get the best out of people who are no longer new artists. Mm-hmm. It's easier to mold a new artist. We've seen that from Dr. Dre. His successes come mostly with new artists. But when you get to a point where you're a Rakim or Busta Rhymes or whatever, it's not much that Dre can do for you. Kanye has shown us that he can do this for either a Big Sean, a Common Sense. Shoot, even when we talk about John Legend, even though that's not hip-hop, Pusha T, himself, Jay-Z. Hey. So, yeah, I got to give credit where credit's due there. So I would say Kanye West. Favorite rap album about... go ahead.
No, I want to pause you right quick right there. Sorry to cut you short on your list. I know we need to wrap up because we've been live for about 3 hours.
Yeah, we're going on 3. Go ahead.
Here's what I'm going to quibble with you about. Do you feel like Kanye's 3 to 5 biggest hip-hop contributions exceed Q-Tip's 3 to 5 greatest hip-hop contributions?
I think they do. He brought them into the next generation, and I think that Kanye has been able to do something that most hip-hop producers haven't been able to do, and that's successfully update their sound and where they mean something sonically to different generations.
Now, here's where I am going to give you some yay, possibly greatest producer of all time stuff. I don't think any other all-time great producer has updated their formula the way that he has. Like those beats on Daytona, I was like, that's yay?
Right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if you say so, he can do anything.
He's all right, great at it, man. And you know, and I feel like Pharrell is still searching for the updated version of what they're trying to do. You know what I mean?
No, I feel that way about Timbaland. I feel that way about Primo. I feel that way about RZA. I feel that way about Dre to a degree.
Even if we look at Just Blaze, and I know Kanye said what he said in the Drink Champs, but Just Blaze is doing a podcast now. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, yo, you Just Blaze. You made some of Jay's most notable material. When's the last updated Just Blaze flow we've gotten? I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. But Kanye seems to do it seamlessly. And you know, it looks like Alchemist has found his niche. You know, like you said, RZA hadn't really updated his thing either. So it's like Kanye's kind of in no man's land when it comes to this. And people go to Premiere for the classic tracks.
I mean, all jokes aside, like DJ Premier needs to be happy that he had Big Nas and Jay. RZA needs to be happy that he had Meth Ray and Ghost.
Yeah.
Dre needs to be happy that he had Snoop.
Yeah.
Those guys are the only thing that's keeping that guy from being clearly number one all time. Got it?
No, that's real. No, definitely.
That's real. That's real.
Okay. Favorite rap song, Welcome to the Terror Dome by Public Enemy. And then follow that up with favorite live group, Public Enemy. Best rapper that can sing, CeeLo. I think we went over that earlier. Best underground group. It's a group called Woodgrain that was out of Atlanta that never got a deal. Best underground rapper, Elzai.
It was your group, Link. Woodgrain is your group.
I was half of that Woodgrain group. Best radio freestyle, Black Thought. Best DJ in a rap group, DJ Jazzy Jeff. Best featured rapper, I went Future.
No, Okay, so check this out. My cousin down in Noonan, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Mark was like, "Yo, cuz, thanks for putting my boy up on the list." I was like, "That was Mike's list." He just started laughing. But yeah.
I mean, Future
Oh,
changes the color of everything, man. People, it's amazing how many features this guy's done, number one. And
Mike.
it's like they all sound like his song.
So that would be the thing is that like when he features sometimes, I'm not certain if it's his song or if he's featuring, but that's actually a really good choice for best feature artist. And if we were going like modern day times with it, I would be picking, like when I thought about that, I was like, I know I picked Biggie, but I'd be totally happy with that Future choice from somebody from this time or 10 years younger than me picks Future or like Cuz does. It's like, no, I'm okay with that because Future feature game is crazy.
Crazy.
Mike, Way Too Sexy.
Yeah.
Go see Way Too Sexy last year. He made that song with me.
Yeah. I mean, listen, man, he's been making hits for Drake for the past 3 years. We talk about D4L. That's him and Thug, right? And even if we talk about Life is Good, Drake needs the quote-unquote biggest hit maker in the game needs Future to make a hit. Let's be real.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah. No, so I like the Future pull by you. That was good.
Yeah, see, I got Elzai and Future, man. I'm all over the place.
What?
Metaphysical lyricist. I guess I took that wrong. I went Lupe Fiasco. I think I'm going to go Rakim. Yeah, I'm going Rakim.
If you pick Lupe, he would be, for me, the obvious second choice, but the answer is Rakim.
Yeah. Best battle rap song. I said No Vaseline. There's a lot of different ways you can go there, but I went No Vaseline.
I love No Vaseline.
No Vaseline dismantled the world's most dangerous group.
Well, they weren't the world's most dangerous group. They needed the best rapper in the world at the time, and that was Ice Cube. Best rapper in the world, 1990, 1991, Ice Cube. He's solo. So
best album artwork, ATLians. We both got the same answer on that. Hardest rap verse, man. I went Holocaust verse on Silkworm. No, yeah, it was called Silkworm. Holocaust, aka War Cloud.
Yeah.
That verse is super hard. Falling down an endless tunnel of doom reality. Graphically, my Killer Bee family sings the galaxy, insanity, titanium, stomach devouring Guinness. My flesh is solid stone despite my outer appearance. Man, that verse is mean. All right. We could even go, what do you think about Cannabis's Beast from the East verse?
That came to my mind. It did. It sincerely came to my mind. Dream Shatterer came to my mind. That's why when dude mentioned pun, I thought about that Dream Shatterer verse too. But Mike, there's just no replacing I Got You Stuck off the realness.
No. I ain't mad at your pick. Your pick's crazy.
Third was official Queensbridge Murderers. The mob comes.
Yeah, I used to look forward to that song coming on in the mix.
We all like everybody know what time it is, but Mike, that's not to make people dance.
Best mixtape, man, Down with the King. And I want to explain that, and that's T.I.'s mixtape when he was going at Flip. I really feel like that was the first Gangsta Grill. I could be wrong. But I feel like that Down with the King mixtape really made Gangsta Grill and drama a thing. And Tip was going crazy on that mixtape. To me, I mean, at this point, at this stage, that's still my favorite T.I. project. Because everything that we know T.I. to be, he was doing on that record. On that mixtape, rather. He was talking shit in the interludes, talking shit at the end of the songs, and he was rapping his ass off, man.
So here's what I will tell you, and I think it's funny. We both, and there is some bias to our picks, Mike, because you picked Down with the King and I picked Trap or Die 2. So how you kind of feel about Tip's performance, like part of why Trap or Die 2, and I know people prefer Trap or Die 1, he's such a better rapper and better song maker on Trap or Die 2, and it still got the same feel. The features, the Plies feature on Lose My Mind, the epic Pusha T and Malice feature on Illin. He's got personal stuff on there like Go Hard, but I feel the same way about Down with the King. I just felt like he became a better rapper after Down with the King, and that's why I don't have it.
Did he? I don't know. So. I don't know, man. On 106 in Park, I can see the hate in your heart on the squad.
Mixtape. See, he's in mixtape mode, rapping his ass off. That don't always translate to album. I love the way he translated. See, Down with the King. I know you still think it's his best project, Mike. It's not better than Trap Music or King.
It's not better. It's not better. It's my favorite.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to tell you is that Trap or Die 2, no, Trap or Die 2 is better than almost all the shit Jeezy released.
Well, yeah, Jeezy's mixtapes are better than his albums.
That's what I'm saying, Mike. When people ask me what my favorite Jeezy albums are, I go Trap or Die 2 and Trap or Die. They be like, what about the release stuff? I say Trap or Die 2 and Trap or Die. And then
Well, you got those over Thug Motivation 101 because people think very highly of that. And it's interesting, man. We put out a post a couple of days ago, and I think it was Trap House by Gucci. It was Thug Motivation 101. I want to say Trap Music was in there. And it was another album that was in there. But anyway, everybody overwhelmingly picked Thug Motivation 101 over Trap Music. And I'm like, wow. Damn, people saying T.I.'s music aged like milk. Is that what y'all think of T.I.?
How about
Are y'all
this?
doing this because he's doing stand-up comedy now?
The high moments on Trap Music are better than the high moments on 101. 101 might be a better player beginning to end. And T.I. is on 101. Bang is actually one of the better moments on 101. And T.I.'s verse is one of the reasons. He's actually the real scene stealer on that song. What I would tell you about Jeezy's catalog, you go Trap or Die 2, Trap or Die 1, 101, The Recession, and then 103.
AKs and Curtain says History by Sci-Hi. You talking about Black History Project.
Ooh, yes.
That's a great mixtape.
I was thinking, Mike, you know what else came to mind too? You know how I feel about Push and the Re-Up Gang, guys. I was thinking Re-Up Gang Volume 1 and 2.
Yeah. Re-Up Gang shit was crazy. That Cry Now record.
50 Cent is the Future came to mind.
Yeah.
Yo,
Cry Now by the Re-Up Gang is one of my favorite rap songs of all time.
Actually, Mike,
them niggas went crazy on there.
No, you're right, Mike. Mike, that's one of their 10 best songs.
Yo, them niggas went crazy on there. All 4 verses. Yeah. Pusha starting it off, and Malice on Clean Up, Sandman, and Ab Lava. Crazy.
Ab Lava's ill. So is Sandman, but Ab Lava, man.
Best hip hop beat. I went When They Reminisce Over You. Trouble T-Roy.
That's I think that's like the obvious pick of that selection. I think that's probably going to be the beat that gets picked the most. And who made that beat, by the way?
Pete Rock.
Okay.
You had some of his production on your list too.
Believe that.
Best lyrical song. I went Tryon.
That's cool.
And you know the reason why is just how many songs do we get in hip hop where you got 9 lyricists spitting to that level? I don't think there is one where you got a verse like Inspector's verse starting it off, and then you got somebody like Method Man rapping to the level that he did with the second verse.
So when
there
you say
is no low point, what the lowest point I will admit on Triumph, Master Killer's verse, but it's still a dope verse.
So here's what I would submit to you. You say Triumph is the most lyrical song ever. And when you say that, I get what you're saying because you're talking about them 9 in full. Because lyrically, it's better than Protect Your Neck, which is the other song. And it's better than The Jump Off. Those are the other 2 records where it's like all of them together. But what I would submit to you is that isn't something like Guillotine off the Purple Tape better lyrically than Triumph?
I thought about Guillotine.
That
was the first one that came to mind, to be perfectly honest.
Right, because I've always said this, Mike. After Deck and Meth's verse lyrically, there's a drop off. Oh, Guillotine's a tour de force because Jizza ends it like the nigga don't get mad. I got mad styles of my own and it's shown when my own hands grip the chrome microphone.
I don't know who has the best verse on Guillotine.
That's why Guillotine's probably a better choice than Triumph to me because it's like a literal argument because the first verse is the verse that catches people's attention, but by the time you get to the last verse, you're like, hey, that might be the best verse. Yeah. And then you got Ray and Ghost in between, Mike, Deck and Jizza.
Yeah.
That's fucking Mike Bowles.
People in the chat are saying we're making them think that Pusha T is top 5. We're making a top 5 case for Push. Hey man, Push has a great career. Has had a great career, and is still having a great career.
Top 10. That's what I'm saying. He's already top 10-ish or approaching that stratosphere.
That's why we're looking forward to this album because this is going to tell us a lot.
Yeah, he's already he's in Redman, Jada Kiss, like all those guys' territory. Ice Cube, like he's in that realm, in that sphere. Yeah.
We just mentioned Fourth Chamber. You think that Guillotine is more lyrical than Fourth Chamber?
It is.
Okay.
Poisonous Paragraph smashed the phonograph and had to be the Inspector Deck on a warpath. That's stronger than everything on Fourth Chamber.
I don't know about that. Well,
It is. It is. It is my poisonous paragraph smashed upon a graph in half to be the inspect the deck on a warpath. Show me 2 bars on Fourth Chamber like that. That's 2 bars.
Album that stayed in your car CD player the longest. Akumina.
Yay.
Album that stayed in your car tape deck the longest. East 1999 by Bone Thugs and Harmony. I was trying to rewind and learn all those words and all that stuff.
I was going to ask you how that ended up being that choice, even though I love that album, but that makes total sense.
Yeah, just trying to. That was like my introduction into memorizing rap verses, and yeah, I started with the most difficult one, so everything else was a breeze.
Mike, Liquid Swords and Do or Die were mine. I remember writing down the verses to Shadowboxing when I first heard it because I didn't understand what the hell they were doing. I was like, I don't know how to rap like that. I don't know how they're rapping like that.
When I heard Method Man on Shadowboxing, I knew that I wanted to be involved in hip hop in some way, shape, or form.
He was so excited. It was like crap.
Yeah, shit was crazy. It was next level, man. I guess we got to get up out of here in a second. We're going on 3 hours.
We need to get up out of here.
Yeah, we got to get out. All right, last thing before we go. What did you think about the comment that somebody made? Somebody said, we live in a world where DJ Khaled gets a Hollywood star before DJ Premier. And then someone said Cool Herc, too.
It's called the Walk of Fame. Fame. Famous. Not famous, fame.
I don't know, man. It's like, and no disrespect to Khaled, I don't quite understand. It kind of, how do I say this without sounding like a hater or whatever? It's not really clear-cut qualifications of what these stars are for. Because at first, when you go to LA, because you lived out there, for a second. When you go out to LA and you see these stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you're thinking like movie stars. And, maybe some musicians who are just big crossover musicians and stars in that way. I think everybody was crowded around Michael Jackson's star. Mm-hmm. But I don't really understand. I don't think everybody has a clear-cut
Can I tell you something?
Notion of what Khaled actually does.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. Because somebody just said this in the comments. Said, what does DJ Khaled actually do?
No, Mike, you posed this question. We've had whole shows about this. Still don't quite have the answer. But here's what I tell you. And this is what I mean about making our own rules. This is one of those white pop culture things that that our community is kind of indoctrinated into, and it really doesn't mean a whole lot. It just from personal experience, Mike. I mean, Hollywood, Sunset, Melrose, like how they make it look all nice and stuff. Like when they're doing all this, man, pull up on those pull up at night. It's not even smelling like piss, prostitution, get your ass robbed at the gas station around the corner. If you're not careful, it goes down right there.
But you're immortalized in the soil, and I think that's
what I'm saying. Immortalized as what and for what? Like Mike, because I'm gonna tell you, the average person when they're walking that strip during the day, ain't nobody looking down. Like you walk down, and be like, oh, I just walked over Bruce Springsteen. Whoop de fucking did like.
Right. Well, all right. The people in hip hop who have one, it was 50 got one. Yeah. Queen Latifah got one some years back. Will Smith, I'm sure has one. Dr. Dre got one. Big Boy just recently got one. Big Boy, radio DJ out there in LA, legend. Ice Cube has one. LL Cool J just recently got one not too long ago. And it's like, I don't really see Khaled in the mix of that. And I could see if it was one thing where, Khaled was, doing film and stuff like that on some, sprawling your palette out. But we don't even, when it comes to a Khaled album, we don't even know what he's producing, what he's putting together. I still don't know what DJ Khaled does. I've never seen him spin. I don't think that, I'm sure he can. I've just never seen it. Like, it's interesting. It's interesting. And I'm not trying to throw no shade or anything like that, but I think a lot of people are baffled with why.
He did used to be a real like live DJ down in Miami. That happened.
Oh yeah,
That
no,
happened.
no. His pirate radio station and all that was on some real hip hop shit, which was dope.
Right, and
But
it
the
was on some
thing
real
is,
hip hop
what the
shit.
mass public knows him for isn't any of that stuff, you know?
No, that too is fair, but let's not make it seem like he just showed up and did nothing this whole
Nah,
time.
he been here.
Yeah,
I
he's
just
been
wish
here.
that, you know, and I'm sure he's a gifted producer too. I guess what they call a curator, or what, you know what I'm saying, West Side Gun be talking about, you know, when he puts together his records, like Khaled knows what people to put on what and what producers to get for that. I don't know.
Right. I mean, you know,
They said Dr. Dre does not have one. I thought Dr. Dre did. I could be wrong.
I thought he did too.
Okay, well, if those people don't have it, and the people who were with Khaled, you know, it was Jay and Fat Joe and Diddy, if they don't have it, I guess they don't care. I don't know.
Right. It's not, but that's what I'm saying, Mike. Like, this isn't that big of a deal. This was like a big deal in the '80s. Like, you know, like if you were like Bette Midler or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't.
So the Hollywood Walk of Fame stars is washed up at this point. It really don't even matter.
I mean, no bullshit aside. Like, the streets are dirty, the shops are old. Like, for real, there's like real prostitution going on up there. Niggas really be getting robbed at the gas station. Like, Mike, I used to live up there. I spent one of my birthdays up there, like chilling. The Pac's last performance. I know
what you're talking about. Shit, somebody in the chat help us. Not Hard Rock, but yeah.
Yeah, not Hard Rock. You know where I'm talking about? Yeah. It's right around. Actually, myself. Like, it going down right there.
Yeah.
Blues. Blues.
Yeah. The shit. What is wrong? This is what happens when you're live. You forget House of Blues. That's it. Yeah, somebody said it too. Yeah, Air Pegasus. Shout out to you.
So it's like you'll be on Hollywood Boulevard, and then you'll bust a left, and that'll be Melrose, and Melrose will take you right down to Sunset. But that's all block shit still, even though it's like, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like all the dudes, like, yeah, they be out there.
All right, man. Well, this is coming Friday. We're going to get together, and we're going to have Jar from Rap Roundtable, who was talking a whole bunch of stuff in the chat. We're going to get him on the show, and we're going to talk some hip-hop. We might have a Pusha T album. Who knows? And I want to hear some of his perspective on the fact that he think that all of this promotion for this album is some stalling tactics. So, you know, we could probably do like a little wrap-up of what, you know, hip-hop has been like in 2022 so far and kind of pull those two worlds together. Appreciate you getting the yearbook, Leroy Green. Leroy Green said he just got the yearbook. You will not be disappointed, man. We got you in there, Leroy Green. And shout out to everybody who got the yearbook. We definitely want to know what y'all think about it. You can click the link that should be at the top of the chat. Order it from Amazon. It'll be at your door next day, or if you got Amazon Prime, whatever.
Leroy ordered a book, huh?
Yeah, Leroy ordered the book, man. We appreciate that, Leroy. We appreciate everybody who went out there and ordered it. Like I said, let us know what you think about it.
That's literally the Fed's taking pictures, Mike. That is the Fed taking pictures.
We got to figure out if Leroy is Jigga, if he's Memphis, Ty. We're going to get to the bottom of it.
If he's Jay, I need him to support and buy 500 copies right now.
Nah.
I'm going to support black business.
You got to do that, Jay.
You talking about black business on your record like that. You're going to support this black business then, Leroy. Tell your boy that. Tell your boy.
Jigga ain't got to get 500. Just get one.
So do Nas. All you dudes with money. All you dudes with money be talking this anti-establishment stuff. Come support this black business and buy a bunch of copies.
There it is. We appreciate y'all, and we're going to holler at y'all Friday.
Peace.